Okay. So, sup guys. This will be the review, the weekly review. We had a crazy week, right? Had a crazy week, crazy PA. But anyway, we'll be going through the week. But this week, this time, we're gonna do something different, right? We're gonna do something unique, different, special. Anything you will say, anything, right? We're gonna cooperate candle science and what and quarter theory. It's basically us trying to understand the weekly cycle through a perspective of a quarter theory analysts, right? So let's get into the video, right? So starting off, let me first turn off the PSP indicator, right? Let me first turn it off. Yeah. Remember, as we always do, this is an inverted DXY, right? This is this week's candle, right? This one, it is this week's candle, and this one was the last week's candle, right? We're gonna be like looking upon how price did react, and we're gonna cooperate it with like quarter theory, right? We're gonna cooperate it with quarter theory. So let's get into this, right? Starting off, we remember we had this high, and we still have, I still look upon this, right? that's that has that was our whole idea going into the next week. But remember, learn to be flexible, right? Learn to be flexible, and most of the time when you feel like you aren't like sure about the weekly candle, wait till Wednesday, right? Wednesday, by I think for me, by Wednesday it is high probability, just it is either on Wednesday will be either confirming or going against the weekly bias. Oh, all right, the whole weekly bias. It's about how like the Wednesday closes. Sometimes it can be also Tuesday, but for me, most of the time I have come to understand like most of the time it is the Wednesday. So let's go into the daily time frame. So this is our daily time frame, and let me do something. This was our Monday candle, right? Yeah. Let me separate this whole stuff, right? This was our Monday candle, right? So remember, we had this fair value gap right here, closing off the last week. We had this fair value gap, a daily fair value gap, and it was also almost in proximity with the 4-hour fair value gap, right? And we did expect this fair value gap to hold price going higher, and this was we didn't expect price to return back into this low, right? Sorry. So what happened when we use candle science, right? When we use candle science, we form this fair value gap, right? Which above this high and respected the high, right? Before reaching out for the fair value gap, for the daily fair value gap. The only way I would expect this price not to return to this fair value gap is when we disrespect this high, right? Which we did not see, right? So we disrespected this high, coming back into the range and in close proximity with the fair value gap, right? And the next day, what happened? We opened up higher, right? And remember what I told about the opening gaps, right? You should always watch out for the opening gaps, right? Should always watch out for the opening gaps. Opened lower, went higher, and we didn't reach out for this high, right? Didn't reach out for this high. This is Tuesday. Wednesday, we didn't reach out for this high, and on Wednesday, what we saw price going lower, right? Going lower. This is a confirmation. This is a confirmation, right? So most of the time, if you don't feel like ready to, when you don't understand the weekly candle, just wait till Wednesday, right? Just use Wednesday as your confirmation. It will be it will be much easier, I would say. But there we're gonna be going to like all this stuff, right? So what did Wednesday do, right? We on Tuesday we went back, right? Remember, and by this time I am trading, I am taking in trades. I need something, I need to see a confirmation, right? I need to see a confirmation. So on Tuesday, on Tuesday we came back into the fair value gap, then went higher. After going higher, we had an SMT, right? And remember, we have already worked out the liquidity, right? But thing will be much more clear when we get to the, let me, for the basis of this video, let me use, this time I'll be using the 1 hour time frame, right, to see how price did react. And remember, this was our invalidation point, this one, right? This was our invalidation point, and also this can be our invalidation point, but for me this candle and this one was the invalidation point for bullish prices. Let me go into the hourly time frame. So this is the 4-hour time frame, right? This is the 4-hour, right? When you look at the 4-hour time frame, this was our fair value gap, this is the daily fair value gap, and this is the 4-hour fair value gap. Seeing this, on Friday we did reach up, on Monday we did reach upon back into this fair value gap, right? And after reaching for this fair value gap, price created an SMT, right? Weekly SMT between Friday of last week and the current week is Monday, right? So I would expect, with everything possible, this fair value gap to hold price, right? I would expect price not to violate this fair value gap. And after price coming back into this fair value gap, we formed another fair value gap, then went like lower, forming a bearish candle, right? We formed a bearish candle, which I wouldn't like to see in a bullish price action after taking out a fair value gap, right? So this is the 4-hour time frame. This was our point, and for me this was the invalidation point. This is the invalidation point, right? That is the invalidation point. And on the hourly time frame, right, 1 hour time frame, this is what we had, right? So Friday, this was our Friday. Monday, remember we don't trade Monday, right? Price came back for this fair value gap on Monday, created a bullish cycle SMT, creating fair value gap, supporting the price action, going higher, right? So, and after that, this sweep up here on the hourly time frame can be like but it's a sharp turn, right? It is a sharp turn. You don't like to see this going against your idea, right? You would like to see this, supporting your idea, right? So we formed a weekly cycle. We formed this weekly cycle SMT, then supported the day by the daily and within a fair value gap. This was much like what we could expect. But for this fair value gap, price doing this and respecting this high, after respecting the high, forming in an intermarket SMT, right? Forming an intermarket SMT, and on Thursday forming a daily cycle SMT before going higher. That was much it, right? It's about having a narrative, then incorporate it with the what, with contrary theory, which makes things more easy and more, like, I won't say complex, because everyone seems like they want to make everything seem so complex, quote unquote complex. But I think it's simple. It's about you creating a narrative and not trying to have an ego, right? The more you try to, let me say, I wanted to see price going up. That means you won't be seeing all of this, right? You have to react. We just react. You have a bias, then react off, right? You don't force, you react off. So after forming this SMT, daily cycle SMT within a fair value gap, I wouldn't like price, right, from any bearish cycle SMT, right? Bearish SMTs. Though we had an intermarket and a daily cycle. We also had a weekly SMT right here, but it wasn't supported, right? It wasn't supported. And this day did cross bearish, right? This day did cross bearish. So that's, it is like we added this. let, let me mark it out. Let me mark this out. So this is Wednesday, right? This is the price action of Wednesday. And on Wednesday, we totally closed bearish, confirming we have shifted. So after we cross bearish, the only thing I would look for, it is just confirmations for lower prices, right? I have already shifted. We have swept out like liquidity. We have swept out liquidity, right? And we formed a daily candle bearish, a bearish daily candle. So I would like to see confirmations for what, bearish prices, right? So when you understand like, when you get to understand to be subjective, right? What, no, let me leave that be, right? Because I don't want to, like, it's the most important thing. It's about waiting and letting your stuff run, right? Let your stuff run. Just analyze stuff, then wait for confirmations, right? I only had one trade, right? Only had one trade. This trade, right? The Thursday's trade, because the Wednesday confirmed, like, shifted my gears from bullish to bearish, right? And for Friday, this trade was outside my time window, right? And I don't take in trade outside my window. So I think that's it. Sooner or later, we're gonna be going deep into quarter theory. We're gonna talk about quarter theory, but I don't think right now we'll be like talking about it. It's a thing I use mostly. It's a thing I use. Let me. Previous week is high. Okay, we will be talking about that later, sooner or later. But anyway, I think that's it. But before I leave, look at this. Look at everything, and look where this everything did form in cooperation with the weekly true open, right? The true open, right? Everything above the true open. This is premium, true premium, and discount. Everything did happen above the true open. And remember, and see, we never had any, like, stuff like confirming our bias below the true open, right? So it's it's like it is not like just a single stuff. You have to cooperate a lot of stuff. I don't think, okay, I won't call it a lot, but it's yeah, it's about like 5 stuff or something. Not sure because I haven't counted anyway. But it's about having everything's about the narrative. It's about having a narrative and knowing, being flexible, right? It's about flexibility, right? It's about flexibility. And from for this also, let me show you the daily cycle, the 15-minute time frame. But for this, I'll be using EU because that's what I mean. That's what I use for the what for my times, right? I don't take trades on DXY, so I don't usually mark out the time windows. All right. So this is Friday. It was outside my window. I didn't take this trade anyway. But for Thursday, this was my trade, right? Thursday, that was my trade. I didn't take this trade. I I missed that one out, right? It was a good trade though. But I did miss it, right? This trade also Tuesday because I wanted to be confirmed. But anyway, that's not the whole idea. The whole idea, it's about, look upon this. Where did the daily cycle, the weekly the daily cycle SMT form in cooperation with the true day open? Below the true day open, right? The same below buys, above sells, above sells, below. So I think that's it. We will be talking about that, but yeah, see you guys. See you. I'll be returning with the what. When I talk a lot, I get to forget stuff. I get to forget words. I'll be returning with the pre-weekly analysis. Right? I think later. I think later. But yeah, that's it. See you guys. See you.